Alright, hey everyone, we're on the chapter 4, multiplication of whole numbers, fractions, and mixed numbers. Now, I remind you, before going and checking out the solution and checking out the answers, pause the video every time you see the blank page. I mean the page without the answers, right? Pause the video, try to do it yourself, and if you can't, do it with me together. Have your notebook, or a piece of paper or a pencil, and do the solution on the side. Okay, let's keep going. So on page 51, right, the problem number 1, find the value of each of the following. Now here, every time you want to find a fraction of a bigger number, of some number, right, you want to find a part of some number, you do multiplication, right? I repeat, if you want to find a part, a fraction of a bigger number, you need to do multiplication. Okay? Alright. Multiplication of 18, right? When you do multiplication, you bring the number, this factor, into the numerator, right? And then 1 times 18 is 18. 18 divided by 2, or 18 over 2 is 9. Right? So this is your template for all of the problems that you see here. You are supposed to do the same thing everywhere. Right? 1 over 4 of 28 times 28, which is 1 times 28 divided by 4, which is 28. So we need to 28 divided by 4, right? Which is, the answer is 7. That's your answer, right? So I'm gonna just erase this thing. Just gonna put the answer here. 7. Right, try to solve these problems in the same way. I will give you the answers. 24, 28, 40. Page 52. The next problem, you're doing totally same thing, right? When you do this kind of thing, you have your fraction, you have your number, right? How do you find a fraction of a number? It doesn't matter even if the fraction is improper, right? You still do multiplication. 5/4 times 28, right? Do your math, find the answer. The answer will be 35. Now pause the video, try to do all of them, and then I will give you the answers right now. Right, so the answers are 70, 81, 42, 21, 40, right? So if you compare these letters and the numbers over here in the key, you will have a lovely koala. Okay, practice 2, product of two fractions. Now, for those who ask me what is a product, right? Who still have a question, what is a product? Product is the result of multiplication. So if you, let's say, have multiplying two numbers and you have the answer, right? This is called the product. These two numbers are called factors. So anyway, any number and you multiply any number, they're called factors. The result of the multiplication is called products. Now, we are multiplying our fractions, right? How to find the result? When you multiply your fractions, right? First of all, before doing any multiplication, you need to check how can you simplify your fraction. So in this case, they're showing you that 2 and 6, they can both divide it by 2, right? It's gonna be 1 and it's gonna be 3. And now in the simplest form, it's gonna look like 1 times 1 and 5 times 3. And then the answer when you do your multiplication of two fractions, right? I remind again, you multiply this numerator times this numerator, and you multiply denominators separately. Again, you multiply numerator times numerator, and you multiply denominators separately. So this is what they do. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 3 is 15. This is your answer, right? Let's do it again with the B, right? 1 times 5, 3 times 8, right? 1 over 3 times 5 over 8. So 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 8 is 24. We cannot simplify, so the answer just stays it is. Alright, let's check C. We cannot simplify 5 and 7, but we can simplify 2 and 10. We divide this by 2. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, do the same thing with D and E. I will give you the answers. 3 over 28, 2/3. Alright, next page. So here again, multiply, right? We can see that there is 10, there's 8. It can be simplified. They can both be divided by 2, right? We divide 8 by 2, divide 10 by 2. It's going to be 5, and it's going to be 4, right? We write the same thing again. 7 times 4, and 5 times 5, right? We calculate, and we transform it into a mixed number. As an answer, you will get 1 and 3 over 25, right? Here you can see 7s. They can be simplified, so the answer is simply 2/3, right? Check the other answers. I will just give you the answer. 1 over 2, 2 over 5, 1 over 4. Okay. Now express find each product, express your answer in the simplest form. Alright, you can do the same thing again. Here I will just give you the answers. This is gonna be 1, 5 over 6. This is gonna be 9. What I cannot write here, but this is this C, right? For B it's gonna be 2, 1 over 6, and for D it's gonna be 10. Alright, product of a mixed number and a whole number. How do you do these kind of problems? Now, what many people start to do is they start to transform this fraction into improper fraction. So they write something like 15 times 4 times 5, 20 plus 21. So I can write 21 over 5. And they start multiplying these big numbers, 15 and 21. Well, this is completely unnecessary. What I suggest for you to do is a simple way. You take this fraction and you break it into sum of the numbers, right? 4 is a whole number plus 1 over 5, and you keep it in the brackets. And then you do 15 times, right? Keep it in parentheses. So what you have to do now is you have to multiply 15 times 4 and 15 times 1 over 5. So it's gonna look like this. 15 times 4, you keep this plus 15 times 1 over 5, 15 times 1 over 5. Now everything gets very, very easy, right? 15 times 4 is 60, plus 15 and 5 can be simplified. It's going to be 3 plus 3. So your answer is 63, right? Let's do it again. You take the fraction, you break it. 2 plus 3 over 7, 9 times, right? And then you write it again. 9 times 2, 9 times 2, plus 9 times 3 over 7, 9 times 3 over 7, right? 9 times 2 is 18, plus 9 times, so let's do it like this so you don't lose anything. 9 times 7 plus 3, right? Let's calculate this. Oh, sorry, I messed it up right here. Again, you see, it's very important to pay attention. 9 times 3 divided by 7, right? And then we have, right, 9 times 3, 20, so let's write it again. 18 plus 27 over 7. How many 7s are inside here? There are 3, left over 6, remainder is 6 over 7, right? So 18 plus 3, remainder is 6 over 7. 18 plus 3, 21. This is your answer. 21 and 6 over 7. Okay? Alright. Okay. I will show you one more, and let's try to do the rest yourself. Break the fraction. 1 plus 5 over 6. 24 times. Right? 24 times 1. 24 times 1. Plus 24 times 5 over 6. You can simplify this. This is going to be 4. 4 times 5 going to be 20. Okay, so I will write it again. 24 times 1 is 24 plus 4 times 5 is 20. Right? 4 times 5 is 20. It's going to be 44. 44. That's your answer. Try to do everything again carefully. I will give you the answers. 15, 3 over 4. 10, 1 over 2. And here the answer is 33. Okay. Now on the next page you're doing completely same thing, right? You have to calculate. Again, I would like to show. I don't have to show you all the trick again. That you can break this fraction and then multiply it part by part. Right? Do it again. Do it yourself. Pause the video, and now I will give you the answer. 135, 137, 12, 255, 10 and 1 over 9, 3 and 1 over 3, and 4. If you combine everything, you check your letters, you're gonna have a word here. 5. Alright. Okay. So let's review what we've learned in this chapter again. Right, when we multiply a fraction, and a whole number, right? 2 over 5 times 40, right? This 40 goes to numerator. 2 times 40 divided by 5, right? So here you can do the multiplication or you can do simplification, but let's do multiplication. For example, 80 divided by 5, right? Step by step. 80 divided by 5 will be 16. That's your answer. All right. When you multiply two fractions, what do? 5 over 12 times 4 over 3. Yeah. You should check if you can simplify. So 4 can be divided by, this can be 2 divided, these 2 can be divided by 4, right? It's going to be 1, it's going to be 3. So we write again 5 times 1 and then 3 times 3. Your answer is 5 over 9. Okay? Alright. The answer here is 6. The answer here is 31 and a half. Alright, next page. What is 9/8 of 64? What is 9 of 8 parts? Right? It is a fraction. Sorry, not. Oh, yeah. Okay, 9/8 of 64. Right? This is what it is. 9/8 times 64. When you want to find a fraction, even if it's an improper fraction, it's okay. When you want to find a fraction of the whole number, you do multiplication. Right? You can simplify this. Right? This is gonna be 1. You divide both parts by 8. 1 is gonna be 8. So 9 times 8. The answer is 72. Right? Do the same thing for these two. I will give you the answers. 5/18 and 1 3/8. Okay, and this is, oh sorry, the picture is a little bit blurry, but you can get it. When you see the same fraction, right, or same mixed number or same fraction, you don't need to recalculate these fractions. There will be some problems in the test like that, right? So you can see this mixed number is totally same, completely the same. 1 2 3 4. How many times you see this kind of mixed number, right? You see it 4 times and you multiply 4 times the same mixed number. That's the answer. Okay, without multiplying the numbers in each box, explain which box has the greater value. Alright, that's pretty straightforward here. What we need to do is, this box has a greater value. Why? Because look at this fraction, right? This fraction. If you can see that you can simplify it, right? By 8/5 and 1/2, they share a common factor of 2. So you can simplify them, right? You can simplify them. That's gonna be 4, that's gonna be 1. And then you're gonna receive again 4/5 times 1, right? Simply. So which is 4/5. So what is bigger, 4/5 or 4/5 and the just part of the 4/5? Obviously, right? I don't need to calculate further. I can see that one whole fraction is bigger than the part of the fraction. And that's your answer, box B. Box B has a greater value. Alright, next problem. Jeremy used the calculator to find the product of a mixed number and 2. He pressed 3 instead of 2 and obtained an answer of 56. What should be correct answer? Okay, very, very easy, right? So we just need to imagine. So there was some kind of mixed number that he wanted to multiply by 2, right? And we need to find the final answer. But instead of this thing, he got the same mixed number, right? And accidentally pressed 3, and he got 56. So how do we find this? How do we find this mixed number, right? We just divide 56 by 3. This mixed number will be 56 over 3. 56 over 3, right? If we transform it into mixed number, it's gonna be 56 over 3 is 18 2/3. This is this improper fraction represented as a mixed number. So 18 2/3. Now this is what he wanted to do. 18 and 2/3 times 2. What is the answer? We calculate it. It's gonna be 37 and 1/3. Do the math, check your answer. Okay, math journal. Here we need to pay attention a little bit. So, how to explain using diagrams multiplying two proper fractions and adding two proper fractions, right? I will give you a simple answer for that. So, for A, multiply. How do you multiply? For example, we need to multiply 1/3 times 1 2, or simply what does it mean, right? We want to know how much is 1/3 of 1/2, over half. So this is how you show it using the diagram. You have something like whatever. Let's think about the unit bar, right? If we divide it by 2, we're gonna have our 2 halves, right? This is gonna be half, this is gonna be half, right? Now how do we find 1/3 of a half? We just divide half and divide it with 3 parts, right? And this is gonna be 1/3. This part will be 1/3. This will be 1/3 of 1/2, or this multiplication. Now let's check the other one. How do we do addition, adding of two proper fractions? Let's do it with the same fractions, right? 1/3 plus 1/2. We need to add them. We're coming back to our cakes and pizzas, and here are your circle diagrams, right? Here, what is our 1/3? 1/3 is this piece of pizza. What is a half? Is this piece of pizza, right? If you want to add them together, how do we do that? Well, we cannot, right? We need to transform. We need to bring them to the common denominator. We break everything. We think not of the third pieces and not half of the pizza. We think about the 1/6, right? So we have two pizzas, and this 1/3 will be divided in each half, right? So like this, right? So we have now 1/6 and 1/6. Now if we think of half, right, there's gonna be the same story. This is gonna be 1/6, this is gonna be 1/6, and this is gonna be 1/6, right? So basically this is 2/6, and this is 3/6. And how many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/6. Or if you want to draw it as a pizza, right, it's gonna be, right, it's gonna be one piece, second piece, third piece, fourth piece, fifth piece, and this one's missing. Okay, that's it. Okay, same thing with this problem, right? Answers can be different. Let's take a moment and read, right? So there are symbols, and they represent fractions that are smaller than 1. Complete the statements using greater than, smaller than, or equal to. Okay, let me clean this up. Okay, right, let's think, I don't know, for example, this fraction, right, this fraction will be 2/3, and this fraction, it will be 1/4. Now we do two mathematical operations. This operation, fraction of, so like fraction of a number, right? This is multiplication. 2/3 times 1/4. How much is that? 2 and 4 simplify to, right? 1/6. Here is the first number. Second number, we calculate this. 2/3 plus 1/4, right? What do we do? Bring them to common denominator. This is gonna be 4, this is gonna be 3. 2 times 4, 8. 8/12 plus 3/12. How much? 11/12. Right? This is another answer. Right? Now think about this number and this number, right? 1/6 is basically 2/12, right? And this is 11/12. And we need to say something about it. Well, obviously 2/12 is smaller than 11/12. All right? Okay. Now I'm gonna clean it up to give you another example. For example, we're talking about two same fractions, right? This cube over here is 1/2, and this circle over here is 1/2. We do the same thing. What is half of half, right? Half of half is a quarter. This is how we do it mathematically. Times, right? 1/4. That's the first thing. Second thing, we need to do addition. 1/2 plus 1/2. Half plus half make a whole. It becomes a 1, right? So you have your two numbers. 1/4. We need to say something, and 1. What do we need to say? Obviously, 1/4 is smaller than 1. 1/4 is smaller than the whole. Alright, you got it? Okay, finally, I don't know, let's take a more complicated fraction, for example, just to make sure we all understand this. Let's think about this cube. This cube is 5 over 6, and this circle, not cube, the square, sorry. The circle is 2 over 9, right? Two fractions. What is 5/6 of 2 over 9? 5/6 of 2 over 9 is times 2 over 9, right? We can simplify this. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 1. The number is going to be 5 over 27. That's your first answer. Now what's going to happen if we're going to add these two fractions? 5 over 6 plus 2 over 9, right? We bring them to one common denominator, which is 18, right? We multiply this by 3, we multiply this by 2, right? That's gonna be 15/18 plus 4/18, which is 19/18. Or as a mixed number, it's gonna be 1 and 1 over 18, right? You have one number, you have second number, you need to say something. 5 over 27 is smaller than, obviously, because there is one whole, 1 over 18. Alright, I hope this thing is clear. Please write all the 3 solutions. Okay, let's check. This should be our last problem in the chapter, I guess. And this should look, may look confusing, right? But it's really not if you read carefully the problem. Look at the target. Each ring on the target has a score as shown, right? Nick and Brian, they shot 2 arrows, right? So we have 2 numbers. At the target multiplied the score together. Brian's score was greater than 10. Which 2 rings could his arrows have landed on? Alright? And B, Nick's score was a whole number. So what's happened basically? They shoot 2 arrows, right? They shoot 2 arrows. One arrow, and arrows, they land in like random places, like I don't know, here and here, for example, right? Or they can land here and here. They can both land here and here, right? And then you get 2 numbers. So if they land here and here and here, you will get 2 numbers. You need to multiply them. You need to find the answer. That's it. So let's think about Brian's arrows first, right? Brian's. His score was greater than 10. They basically ask us which 2 fractions you need to multiply from these presented here to get some number that is bigger than 10, larger than 10, right? And it's very simple. For example, if his arrows land like this, you get 2 numbers like this, 3 and 1 over 2 times 3 and 1 over 2. Oh, excuse me. Right, it's gonna be, the answer, if you calculate it, it's gonna be 12 and 1 over 4. And that is it, there you have it, right? Or for example, this score, right? Let's say it landed not like this. It landed 1 here and 1 landed here, right? You have this number and you have this number. So what's gonna happen? You have 3 and 1 over 2 times 4, right? And you get 14, right? His arrows landed on the 3 and 1 over 2 ring, and on the 4 ring. You multiply these numbers. This is larger. This number is greater than 10, right? And the very simple option, both of his arrows land here, and he gets a score of 4, right? 2 times 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is greater than 10. Okay, now let's think about the other guy. Let's think about Nick. And they're asking us, Nick's score was a whole number. Well, we just showed 2 of the examples, right? So if he landed like this, we got the score of 14. whole number. If they landed like this, 4 times 4 is 16. Again, the whole number. Right? What are other options? For example, his arrows land like this. One, he goes bullseye to 25, right? So you really need to do different combinations and multiply different fractions to see what's gonna happen. But this may seem a little counterintuitive, but the answer is gonna be the whole number 3. His arrows landed in the center and in the second ring. Alright, I hope you get the point of the problem. Good luck.